Previously on the Homefront.
Now, if you get lonely, give me a call. I'll be home before dinner tomorrow night. Pearl Roadhouse.
Miss Owen, would you join me for dinner? It's not our place to mention it.
I am not going to walk in there and say, "Good morning, Mrs. Sloan. Your husband is running around with a woman young enough to be his daughter."
Your wife called to tell you she's returned from her trip.
She's at home?
I told her you were having dinner. I assumed you wanted to keep your whereabouts a secret from her.
In the passing of Henry Ford, the nation has lost the man who, perhaps more than any other, typified Americanism throughout the world. With a loyal wife at his side for nearly 60 years, he wrote one of America's miraculous success stories. This is the first Ford built 55 years ago in the Pioneer's Bicycle Shop, forerunner of the famous Model T that changed the landscape and the economic history of America. Yes, it was a bicycle-wheeled horseless carriage, but upon it was built history's greatest industrial empire. The mass production methods Ford introduced made the automobile the symbol of American prosperity.
People often fear the different, the new, the unknown. Many people are afraid of change. It's as simple as that. It's our responsibility to allay such fears. Our employees must know that their welfare is our concern. Take a memo.
Do.
The staff of WREQ.
From the general manager. Today's date.
Job security.
Job security.
It has come to my attention that many of you have begun to worry about your future employment prospects with this radio station. The purpose of this memo is to assure you that your concern is unwarranted at this time.
Oh, my word, they're going to start laying people off.
The inauguration of television broadcasting should be seen as a time of challenge and opportunity, not despair and gloom. The beginning of television does not mean the end of radio. While all of us may need to make some adjustments to accommodate this untried experimental technology, these adjustments will not be out of the ordinary or beyond your ability. We can resist these challenges or accept them gracefully. We can embrace change or we can fear it. We can revel in it or we can run from it. My goodness, what have we here?
Oh, just some brownies I baked. I thought you might like one or two.
Oh, how kind of you, Miss Wesker. Oh. Very good. Very good. By the way, Miss Wesker, I think our little memo worked, don't you?
Oh, yes, sir. I think it did a lot of good.
You got to accentuate the positive, eliminate the negative, and latch on to the affirmative. Don't mess with Mr. In Between. You gotta spread joy up to the maximum, bring gloom down to the minimum. Have faith or pandemonium, liable to walk upon the scene. To illustrate my last remark,
Jonah in the whale, Noah in the ark.
what did they do just when everything looked so dark? Man, they said you got to accent, punctuate the positive element, minate the negative and latch on to the affirmative. Don't mess with Mr. In-Between. No, don't mess with Mr. In-Between. No, don't mess with Mr. In-Between. No, don't mess with Mr. In-Between.
Doesn't matter whether they broadcast World War III, there's nobody out there to watch. Who can afford $250, $300 for one of those receivers?
They've already sold 300 receiver sets in Ohio alone.
300. There's more than 300 radio listeners within 2 square blocks of Euclid.
Do you think our show is going to get canceled because of television?
Not right off the bat. I imagine they'd trim cast members first.
Thank you, Arthur. That's very reassuring.
You won't get canned. You're both too valuable.
Anyone is replaceable. I'm not the first tomato juice girl.
They have no cause to let you go.
What if he finds out we're engaged?
That's the kiss of death to Ginger's career. I should know.
Arthur and I got engaged when I didn't think I had a job. And besides, I haven't told anyone except
Miss Westcott.
Let me help you with that, Miss Westcott.
Why, thank you, Mr. Shillip. There are so few gentlemen around these days. So tell me, Mr. Shillip, have you and Miss Zabo set a date?
Not yet, Miss Westcott.
Well, be sure to notify me ASAP. I want to mark it on my calendar, and I'll need to notify Mr. Mellon and hold auditions for New Tomato.
Miss Zabo and I want to keep our plans a secret.
Mr. Lemo will never allow a married woman to represent his juice, Mr. Shillip.
Miss Westcott, if you breathe one word to Mr. Lemo about my engagement to Ginger Zabo, if you mention it, whisper it, suggest it, hint at it, or even think about it in his presence, I will tell him that the chaperone of the Lemo All-Stars ended up in my cabin, in my bed, in a state of intoxication, wearing nothing but a smile. I'm not as nice as people think I am. I'm studying to be a lawyer.
There's no one else I trust with management of the thrift store, Victoria.
Oh, Ruth.
And after the board sees the record profit turned by our humble venture, I don't see how they could deny a seat to the person responsible for that profit. Not that the seat on the board would interest you.
Oh, all right. I'll sign on.
Oh, bless you, Victoria.
Oh, is that?
My granddaughter.
Oh, how precious. She has your son's dark hair and eyes. Doesn't look a thing like her mother, does she?
Well, yes, she does.
Well, I mean the coloring.
Oh, I forget you haven't met Gina, have you?
Well, I wanted to introduce myself to her at the stadium, but...
At the stadium?
Well, Peter browbeat me into keeping him company at several of the games. I kept meaning to go down and say hello, but never did. A lovely young woman. You don't see many fair-haired Italians.
Gina has dark hair.
Well, then, this couldn't have been her. This young woman was definitely blonde.
I went to several games myself last season.
Oh, you did?
Yes, we have season tickets. And the box seats are reserved for season ticket holders. And the same people sit in the same seats week after week. So by season's end, we all know one another. In fact, we become almost chummy.
So, she was nobody. And here I thought she was your daughter-in-law.
Perfectly natural mistake.
Oh, dear.
I could strangle that awful woman.
What has Mrs. Sloan done now?
Not Ruth Sloan. Victoria Bridges. Going on about how she saw Mr. Sloan at the stadium with a young blonde. I imagine the same woman you and I saw him with that night.
Now, don't go jumping to conclusions. And it's not our place to say a word.
I wasn't going to mention it. Oh, if I ever find out you've been running around on me, Abel Davis.
Me? Woman?
Men.
Jeff, give me
me a hand with this.
What is it?
Television receiver.
You're kidding.
Should be a big draw.
I prefer radio myself.
Just give me a hand.
Barziza, telephone. Sorry, Mr. Barziza must have left. I'll tell him you called if he returns. Goodbye.
Thanks, Dal.
That's the third time your office called and the last time I cover for you, Barziza. Next time I say he can't come to the phone because he won't leave his poker game.
This is a bridge game, Dal.
Strictly bridge.
And I'm the Queen of Sheba. I'm not covering for you, Barziza.
Wait, Barziza. In or out?
In. 30 seconds.
You're not back in 30 seconds. It should get to the pot.
Give me a break, Judy. I'm having a streak of good luck like I never had before.
You're missing your deadline is what you're doing. Pro Roadhouse.
I'm not here. You saw me leave.
One moment, I'll see. It's for you.
Do you type?
What if I do?
These are my notes on the article they're expecting. Type them up. I'll make it worth your while.
This is chicken scratch.
Don't matter what you say. It's the annual preseason stuff. Tribe, strong points, weak points, yammy yammy. We got a shot at the pennant if the fella's arm don't break. And Lemon in the bullpen give him a rest now and then. Yammy yammy. I know you, Judy. You can write this stuff blindfolded. I'll pay you $10 or 10% of my winnings. Huh?
Mr. Barziza's not here, but he left a message for his office. Yes. He'll file the story before
9 a.m.
9 a.m. You're welcome. Bye. $10.
Take the 10%. I'm on a roll.
Barziza.
$10.
What would you say to buying one of those new television receivers?
Strikes me as a fad, but go right ahead if you think it's worth the money.
It'd be worth the money if it kept you home more often.
I'm at home every night of the week.
Not during baseball season.
Oh, now, Ruth. You could go to the games with me.
Silly me. I'd forgotten how much you begged me to go with you.
Why is that silly?
Well, Victoria Bridges was going on and on about how you were seen at the stadium with some young blonde, and that led me to imagine all kinds of ridiculous scenarios.
Victoria said I was having a rendezvous with a blonde in front of 40,000 people.
Hinted, suggested the possibility.
It's just like something Victoria would say, isn't it?
Imagine you, of all people.
You mean say I'm too old for a woman to find attractive?
Heavens, no, Michael, but you'd be much too smart to take her out in public.
Thank you.
What blonde do you think Victoria could have been referring to?
Who could know?
Do you think maybe she meant that youngster that you gave my ticket to?
Perhaps. Where would we put a television receiver?
Oh, I don't know. Anywhere on top of the radio, I suppose. I don't remember you telling me that youngster was a blonde.
Blonde-haired.
A blonde?
Didn't I? Look at the prices on these receivers.
I prefer the one with the mahogany cabinet. Just how much of a youngster was she, anyway?
A teenager, by all appearances. But from my aging perspective, the difference between 18 and 28 is sometimes not discernible.
Well, that explains it then.
Would you like for me to explain things to Victoria?
Best let sleeping dogs lie.
We hear nothing but optimism from the Indians as they prepare for the opening of spring training camp in Tucson, Arizona next week. In most cases, the optimism is justified.
Last season, ex-tribesman Bernie Farfenbarger played second base like it was a game of hide and seek. Ground balls didn't need eyes to escape his glove. Bernie all but invited them on a grand tour of right field. All expenses paid by the Cleveland Indians.
Good night, Mrs. Sloan.
Good night, Gloria.
Good night.
But this season, those same grass cutters are going to find themselves making a fast trip to first base courtesy of new Indian Keystone bagger, Joe Flash Gordon.
Men.
What'd I do?
One dark cloud hanging over the teepee is the expected loss of right fielder Jeff Metcalf.
Metcalf's bat will be sorely missed.
Never mind. If you don't make the team, you still have the radio job. No team can afford to lose a promising player whose rookie season average of .297 was the envy of a lot of his more seasoned teammates.
Just who will take Metcalf's spot in right field is anybody's guess.
Why don't you write like this every day? Dale Mitchell, the green pea from Texas, has owner Bill Veck on bended knee and prayer that the rookie sandlot play will translate to the majors. This is what the readers want to see on the sports page. It's punchy. They quote you. We sell more papers. Starting to write like Ring Lardner. Keep it up. You'll get a raise.
Then I'll keep it up. You keep it up, you might get it right between the eyes. What's the big idea of printing this malarkey?
My editor doesn't think it's malarkey.
Well, your editor's no Einstein if he hired you. Who told you I wasn't going to make the team?
The journalist protects his sources.
What would you know about journalism?
Well, I know that accident you had on the barnstorming tour. Well, that was news.
I fell down, I got up. So what?
I'm in a hurry.
Printer retraction.
Make the team, I'll retract it.
They say that pictures on television fly through the air just like radio waves. They say it's like being there when you're not. Things we've seen in our lifetime.
Indeed. Mrs. Haley used to be a redhead, didn't she?
Yes, she did. I know a lot of people look down on a woman who bleaches her hair, but I think it's very becoming on Mrs. Haley.
How broad-minded of you, Sam. How is her work?
We wish we had a dozen Mrs. Haleys.
That's so.
Her supervisor says she's the most dedicated file clerk we have. Never late, never takes long lunch hours, never leaves her desk early.
Never absent.
She took a leave of absence to get her divorce. She went to Reno.
Oh, how resourceful. So there have been no excessive visits to the doctor or the dentist or requests to take in a ball game?
No, ma'am. I doubt she knows how the game is played. No, she's never missed a day's work.
Well, I'm delighted to hear it. Too many people take their jobs for granted, and it's hard to find good clerical help.
Well, she's well thought of. She certainly deserves the raise you gave her.
I gave her?
Maybe Mr. Sloan authorized it.
When?
I believe it was around the time you went to your uncle's funeral in Prospect. May he rest in peace.
I don't believe I'll let Victoria Bridges into my home again. She is a gossip monger without a conscience, spreading silly tales of this or that, based on nothing whatsoever. I'm ashamed I even listened to her, let alone let her worry me. Her mind is so filled with venom, it's a wonder she hasn't poisoned herself. If one were to listen to her, everyone is carrying on with everyone else. She actually suggested, stopped just short of an accusation, in fact, that Mr. Sloan was running around behind my back at the ballpark, imagine of all places.
People in glass houses.
Well, that sounds as if you think she has reason to throw stones.
Oh, absolutely not, ma'am. I just meant that no one should destroy anyone's reputation.
Especially people who don't deserve to have that sort of thing said about them. Of all things, she said she saw Mr. Sloan with a blonde out in public.
Well, if there's nothing else, we'll be on our way.
I'll just take these things upstairs before I go.
Well, good night. Abe, how has the service been at Dubinsky's?
Oh, they do a fine job there.
The reason I ask is, when I went to Prospect for my uncle's funeral, I believe I asked you to service the Packard, did I not?
Yes, ma'am, but Mr. Sloan gave us the day off when you went away.
He did.
Yes, ma'am.
Well, that explains it.
All you got to do is what you did before. Only instead of giving a copy to the paper, give it to me.
For this, I get.
5 big ones a pop.
I got 10 last time.
That was a one-time emergency. What I'm offering is job security. Up to 5 columns a week, which adds up to more than 1,200 simoleons per annum, cash in hand.
$8 per column.
6.
7.
7.
Deal.
Here's an advance on the first 2. I need something on the Barons and something on the changes on the Indians' coaching staff. Anybody ask any questions, you're my secretary.
Since when did you and Barziza become so chummy?
Since he printed my stuff verbatim.
You wrote his column?
Pick your job off the floor. It's no big deal if you like baseball.
Oh, I like baseball. I intend to play baseball, Miss Sports Writer.
Well, the doctor
What
said...
the doctor said was his opinion, which he gave to me, not the whole world.
You told me...
I told you, I told my family. I did not tell Coach, I did not tell the front office. I certainly did not tell Barziza, nor ask him to spread the news from here to Kingdom Come.
Slugger, I'm sorry.
Thanks to you, Coach, be watching me like a hawk all during training. Meanwhile, Barziza's editor thinks he's got Ring Lardner on his hand.
Ring Lardner. Pearl Roadhouse.
There's no justice in this world. I'm turning to a life of crime.
Yes, he is. Hang on. For you. The front office.
Hi. Oh, you bet. Oh, you bet. No. Look, you didn't believe that fluff piece. No. No, Barziza must be spiking his coffee. No, right as rain. Huh? Sure. Yes. No, I'll be there. Well, they want me to see the team doctor. Field a couple of fly balls before they... Well, they want to see if it's worth the expense of taking me to Arizona.
Tuna on white, potato salad, and a cola, please.
Just a cup of hot water and some crackers.
Are you trying to lose weight?
Nope, I'm trying to save a few pennies. Even brought my own tea bag. They haven't announced the new program schedule at WREQ, and everybody says there's going to be changes, and I don't want to be broke if I end up unemployed. Hope for the best, prepare for the worst.
When I talk like that, my mom always says I have a bad attitude. Anyway, I thought your show was doing well.
The station just poured a ton of money into television, and they cut my show's budget. That's definitely a sign.
Could be temporary.
I don't understand television.
They say when they broadcast the pictures live, it's like witnessing something with your own eyes, even though it's miles away.
Oh, sure. Radio with pictures. Do you know that receivers cost $250, $300 each? And what do you get for your money? Do you know how many movies you could see for $300?
I bet the Sloans are the only people in River Run who get one.
If my radio show gets canceled, I'm gonna kill myself. I'll jump off the antenna tower and they can broadcast that live on television.
Don't talk like that.
Why is it always one step forward, 2 steps back? I work myself silly. I finally get my foot in the show business door and pow! Here comes television and there goes my radio career.
They haven't fired you yet.
But the writing is on the wall.
There's so many jobs you could get, Ginger. You have so much talent.
It's not just a job for me. This is what your union means to you, or your writing. Or what baseball means to Jeff. Acting's all I ever wanted to do. Well, I'm not giving up without a fight.
You're the first person to ask, little lady. This here is the camera, of course, which has an image orthicon tube, and the light goes through this lens, or through this one, or this one.
Why are there so many lenses?
Well, they make different size pictures, you know, like in the movies, you know, the close up and wide shot. And then the pattern that the light registers is translated into an electronic code that gets broadcast to any receiver with the antenna to pick up the signal.
Like radio.
Like radio, with pictures. course, we're not broadcasting now. We're wired into this monitor over here. But, turn on that light, will you? And I'll see if I can warm this thing up here for you. Now, under this glass screen, there's a phosphorescent material that's sensitive to electricity. And there's a cathode ray tube in behind that sprays the screen with electrons 30 times a second. Actually 60. First the odd numbered lines and then the even numbered, but it's so fast you can't see it. You can just see the picture on the screen.
Oh my word, there it is. It's like magic.
Could you straighten it a bit, please? Thank you.
Oh my word, that's my hand.
Heck, little lady, you want to see yourself?
Oh no.
Stand in front. I'll pull back here a bit.
Oh my word, that's me. Look at me. You could just put this picture into the air anywhere?
Anywhere you have a transmitter and receiver, you bet.
Put them out there just like that?
You bet.
My word. You asked to see me?
Mrs. Haley, my husband has lost his favorite hat. Apparently he misplaced it while I was out of town at my uncle's funeral. I remember phoning the office when I returned, and you were working late, and you told me Mr. Sloan had gone to dinner, but he can't remember the name of the restaurant to save his life. And yet it was that very night that he thinks he misplaced the hat. So we are wondering if you remember where he dined that evening.
I'm afraid I don't.
Maybe you wrote it down somewhere?
No, I didn't.
Do you want to take a few minutes and look through your desk to make sure? Sometimes little scraps like that can lie around forever.
I'm certain I didn't write it down.
What an irony that you received a raise for your overtime work that evening, and yet your memory fails you when we need it most.
I wish I could be of more help.
Mrs. Haley, the welfare of the workers in our employ is something I take a keen and personal interest in, knowing as I do that it is only through constant evaluation and review of an employee's attitude and performance that we can maintain the highest standards in our workplace. A few benighted souls misconstrue this as a punitive or vindictive approach, but I assure you that nothing could be further from the truth. We desire above all that our employees feel secure in their jobs when they are doing them well. To speak frankly, I would stress that it is imperative we find a way to jog your memory.
Sorely missed on the team, son. But at least you have your radio career to fall back on.
Next, Miss Westcott.
You wanted to see me?
Indeed, indeed. Come in.
Well, is the Lemo tomato juice hour still on the air?
Yes, it is. But you're not.
And why not?
Because you're no longer a ball player, which the public at large will know the moment you don't show up at camp. I hired you because you're a ball player. You're no longer a ball player. Ergo, you're no longer hired. Miss Westcott.
And what about Ginger?
Every position is under review.
You can't fire her. She needs this job.
Mr. Metcalf, when one chooses the profession of show business, one chooses a life of uncertainty, instability, and irregular employment. There's no such thing as job security in our business. Send in the next one. What's this?
Rhubarb pie.
Rhubarb is my favorite pie.
Is it? Why, what a coincidence. I'll just leave it and find out who's next in line.
Oh, well, thank you.
This business is a stupid business, but Ginger loves it. She gives it 100% effort all the time, every day. And if you don't appreciate that, you're stupider than this business is. I hope you choke on your pie.
I would never dream of using anything but a Lemo tomato product because only Lemo is made with the freshest tomato money can buy. This mean
that you cannot do better than a limo. That's a L-E-M-O.
How'd it go?
Always make sure that you
I
buy
got fired.
limo.
I hope I didn't lose your job.
Well, you didn't. It's the television. Well, anyways, you always said acting was a silly way to make a living.
It's a great way to make a living.
You always said hitting a little ball with a stick was a silly way to make a living. Maybe we're better off.
What are you gonna do?
Don't worry about me, sweetheart. It's a big world out there. There's millions of towns with millions of bars. Need millions of bartenders pour millions of drinks. Listen to millions of sad stories. And a career in spades. What are you gonna do?
Whatever it takes.
Min.
You asked to see me?
Oh, have a seat, Miss Sable. But first, let me say how grateful Mr. Lemo is for everything you've done for his tomato juice.
I quit.
You what?
I resign, effective immediately. For my role as the Lemo Tomato Juice Girl, I'm finished with radio. I will, as a professional courtesy, appear again only once on the Lemo Tomato Juice Hour to introduce the new spokesman for Mr. Lemo's tomato products, which I assume is going to be one of those phony Italian cooks I saw rehearsing out in the lobby.
That was my idea. Gennario Lemo. He cooking like a you mama.
It's a fine idea. A great idea it would be if so many housewives who are supposed to buy Lemo products didn't remember who was on the other side during the last war.
Miss Waskett! Tell those Gennario Lemos that Gennario is now Chef Lemo, the French chef extraordinaire. Yeah, well, I'm doubly grateful to you, Miss Zabo. First, for not having to fire, for the graceful exit you've made, and also for the little sample of quick thinking. What are you doing?
Taste this.
More food?
Please.
Mashed potatoes.
Real mashed potatoes.
Cold mashed potatoes.
Well, you can't tell they're cold on television, especially if you go, ow. And now, Fletcher's instant potatoes, only on television they'll look like real potatoes. Fletcher's instant potatoes, the potatoes every housewife wants ready when her man brings home the bacon, because with Fletcher's you only add water and love. Now, on radio, you can tell a housewife something like that, but on television you can show her, which is what I'll do for you on the Fine Foods Family Hour.
I don't have any such show on my schedule.
I know, and I want to give your station the benefit of my idea and my face. I've been on a lot of tomato juice cans, and people stop me in the street all the time. They recognize me, and they think of me as a friend. And here's just one of the many uses of instant potatoes. You slice a Winkler brand Frankfurter lengthwise, fill it with Fletcher's instant potatoes. And remember, gals, only add water and love. Put some Buckeye brand cheddar cheese on the top and a slice of bacon, Kentucky hickory smoked bacon. Pop it under the broiler and good. Think of the sponsors you'll have lining up if you go beyond Lemo. I'll bet we could get a stove manufacturer to pay for the stove we use.
I'm beginning to warm to your idea, Miss Zabo. But wouldn't it make more sense if someone like Chef Lemo hosted a show featuring fine food products? Of course, we'd have to change his name.
Well, it would make more sense if it weren't for the fact that the Fine Foods Family Hour will feature much more than just cooking. We'll provide tips for getting stains out and ideas for decorating over the holidays, cooking or cleaning or anything else. No true blue American housewife likes to be talked down to by a snobby Frenchman, especially if he acts like he knows everything. And then we pour in the wine. Your audience wants to feel comfortable with the people up on screen, and the hostess should have a lot in common with them. And I could use a helper. Like, Jeff.
You're right. A married lady should host the Fine Foods Family Hour. Like whom?
Jeff Metcalf. A married lady?
Oh, yes. Housewives do the grocery shopping, and they see single women as the competition. But a married lady, now that's a horse of a different color.
Well, it just so happens I'm getting married.
Oh, congratulations. How soon?
Well, how soon do you,
Well, we're testing our broadcast signal tonight, and we start our regular programming in 3 weeks.
Not soon. That's soon.
Managers with weak knees or sawdust for brains second-guess themselves and change lineups so often the fans never know where to find their favorite players. Hey, Mr. Barziza, great stuff today.
Hey, keep the boys in the front office on their toes.
You bet I will, fellas.
That's your third. Who's the martini drinker?
Some lady in the back. I don't ask questions, I just deliver. And let me have 3 drafts.
Keep those boys in the front office on their toes.
Can you get off by 6 tomorrow for the Barons game?
Well, I don't see why not.
Honey, you're looking at Mr. Barziza himself, in the flesh.
Is that so? And what is it you do again, Mr. Barziza?
He's a sports writer we was talking about earlier.
Don't expect the dame to remember anything but where to shop. Am I right, Mr. Barziza?
Right you are, gentlemen.
We're gonna buy the scribe a drink, doll. Would you get it? Dames think ERA means everybody runs around.
I was thinking, you know Bill Veck's Nylon Nights? He had to give away the nylons in the parking lot, so it's only people who know something about the game get into the stadium.
Hey, write up that idea, Mr. Barziza.
I'll give it some thought.
See? Told you.
You're a straight arrow, Barziza.
Thank you, gentlemen.
Darn, I just remembered I promised to visit my aunt in the hospital tomorrow.
Can't you get off the day after tomorrow?
It's touch and go with Aunt Bernice. I'd feel pretty darn low going back on my word to a dying woman. Not to mention, I couldn't show my face at her funeral when the time comes. I guarantee I'll make it to the next Barons game.
Guess I'll have to exercise the old fingertips myself. Night, gents. Thanks for the beer.
Good night, Mr. Barziza.
Knock 'em dead, Barziza.
You get it.
I have to get off early tomorrow by 6. An emergency just came up.
Make sure you got somebody to cover for you.
You bet. Hello, can I get you?
Is it okay if we eat at the bar?
Sure.
Oh, great. Then I'd like a hamburger, medium well with tomatoes, with lettuce, and grilled onions. And she'd like a meatloaf sandwich, and we'd each like a beer to go.
Linda, I need a favor. Judy, who's the big cheese in sports?
Jim Wilson is the sports editor.
Jim. Where's his desk?
In there. But
Who's
you
his
can't
favorite
barge
player?
in. I don't know.
What's his brand of scotch, bourbon, whatever?
I don't know.
Married?
I don't know.
Tell me something about him.
He hates dames.
Jim.
Do I know you?
No, we have a mutual friend. My name is Judy Owen.
Oh, new proofreader, yeah.
No, sir, I'm a friend of Barziza's.
Oh, his new secretary. I know I seen you around here.
How many reporters you know can afford a personal secretary? Or does this paper pay more than any other paper in the world?
You know, you're a hell of a looker for a weasel like Barziza. He got some hidden talent we don't know about?
Oh, you tell me. Has he turned in today's column yet?
Yeah, I'm editing it right here. Which, incidentally, dollface, means I'm busy.
Here's another column on the Barons. That one I wrote. Like I wrote Barziza's last 3. Probably don't think a dame could write about sports like that, and you probably don't believe me right now. But I know you think that Barziza's writing suddenly got better, and there's got to be some reason for it. So I tell you what. You've got 2 stories there. You can use mine, or you can use his. If you use mine, you can mail the check to that address, and I'll file more stories by and by. And I'll keep using my initial, so none of your readers will ever know that J. Owen is a dame. Good day, Mr. Wilson.
Here it is, everybody.
Gina, that picture's coming through the air from the television studio right to here. No wires attached.
How?
It flies through the air like radio waves. It's invisible. Only these waves carry pictures.
I see that picture. Oh,
Yeah, it makes a picture when it gets here.
It's invisible in the air, and then in the box I can see it. You're teasing, yes?
No. It's like radio with pictures. Same thing.
I can hardly believe. So how works the radio?
I don't know how. I only know it does. It's magic, okay? You have to work on your English.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is only a test of our television broadcasting facility. I am speaking to you live from the studios of WREQ, the voice and eyes of Greater River Run. If you are receiving this picture, please telephone our switchboard operator to let us know we're reaching you. And now, a number from Frankie's Polska Polka Band.
Look, it comes straight through the air right into our house. Whoever would have imagined? Stand there. You get in the way of the broadcast signal. Thank you. I can't get over pictures flying through the air into our house. They take the picture at the studio, and we see it here. It's like being there without being there.
They claim they'll have television cameras at stadiums soon, sending pictures so you can watch the ball game without ever leaving your house. It'll be like you're there in person, only in fact you're not.
You don't say.
Cameras at the stadium might also serve to let me watch my own husband make a fool of himself on a live broadcast.
What a thing to say.
Judy Owen was the youngster who sat with you at all those ball games.
I beg pardon?
Don't pretend, Michael. It only makes you look more foolish.
This is exactly the reason I didn't tell you, Ruth. I knew you would take what were perfectly innocent events and turn them into something wicked.
Attending a ball game with a 50-year-old crony from the country club is innocent. It is an altogether different matter when your companion is a 25-year-old barmaid.
We met when she changed seats to get a better view.
Was the seat next to yours the only one empty?
Ruth.
What amazes me, Michael, is that a man of your age with your intelligence couldn't see that a young woman like her would be after you for your money.
She was not after me for my money.
So she was after you.
We became friends, that's all. We became friends.
And felt the need to hide the friendship. And who hides a friendship unless there's something about the friendship that deserves to be hidden?
I did not hide it. I simply did not advertise. And I did not sleep with her.
Up until now, you didn't go to the games with her, and you didn't recognize her at the Roadhouse.
I made a mistake in not telling you.
Telling me what? That you were gallivanting about the city with a woman half your age, pretending you were just a couple of baseball fans? And that idiotic story about having to watch Feller break the strikeout record.
That wasn't a story.
It wasn't a good story, but it was a fair excuse, especially for a trusting wife. You took her to Detroit. Jeff Metcalf said as much at your birthday party, but I was too naive to notice.
We only watched the game.
You saw her when I visited my aunt?
We had dinner together.
When you claimed you were dining with Sam?
No. The night after.
And you chatted about baseball?
I am not now, nor have I ever been intimate with Judy Owen.
A barmaid, Michael. Might have been understandable in your youth. Thank you for buying me the receiver with the mahogany cabinet. I'm sure that you'll find one suitable to your new decor, whatever that might be. Your bags are in the hall closet.
I'll sleep in the guest room. We'll sort this out in the morning.
You're leaving this house tonight.
I am not leaving, Ruth. I have done nothing wrong.
You leave, or I will.
At Mount Rainier Ordnance Depot near Tacoma, Washington, Army vehicles of many descriptions are being readied for a novel type of storage. This surplus equipment is literally being canned for possible future use. 33 fuel storage tanks, which once fed the engines of war, now become the cans, which will keep the costly equipment almost indefinitely. When these tanks are fully enclosed, they'll be hermetically sealed. After that, dehumidifying machinery will remove moisture. Army engineers say that the equipment can be made ready within hours. Army ingenuity works for economy.